What's up guys, Armada here, and in today's video we are gonna have a final verdict of Paper Mario the Origami King. First of all, I want to say that we have decided for this video not to include any footage, to not show like any spoilers in the game. Of course this video is gonna bring up a lot of different topics from the game. So if you don't want any spoilers at all, then maybe, don't watch the video until after you have finished the game. But we're going to try to minimize it as much as possible and more talking like general, wider terms. But yeah, let's get started. First of all, we're going to go over the things I think the game did pretty good. And then at the end, we're going to go over the things I think the game did pretty bad, or at least could be improved upon quite a bit. So when it comes to the positives of the game, as we mentioned in the earlier video as well, I think the art style in the game is absolutely beautiful. A lot of like environments in the game, looks really good as well. So it's like very visually pleasing across the whole game. If they made a remaster of like one of the old ones with like a little bit more of this touch, I wouldn't even mind it. It was very, very good visuals in the game for sure. And a lot of like the animations and stuff was quite cool as well. So I like that. Combat was surprisingly fun, to be honest. I was very skeptical when I saw the combat system for this game at first. I was like, why can't they just go back to the old style? And even though I would say I still prefer the old style combat-wise, not only for the combat itself, but other things we'll get into later too. But I do think the combat system was surprisingly fun, especially the boss battles. And honestly as well, the boss battles, if you use no resources to like help you out, because in the game like you get a lot of coins. You can use the coin to like extend how much time you have to like solve the puzzle. You can use coins to get like toads to help you out, partly sometimes like solving the puzzle, but also like getting health back and so on. But if you play without that, honestly I would say it's probably harder than the original Paper Marios. Maybe I say that because, we're all much, or maybe not all of us, but most of us are probably more used to like the old combat system rather than this one. So it takes time to adjust, right? So maybe part of me saying it's harder without help is me not being used to it. But I think even if you do get used to it, that it's probably harder. But yeah, it's hard to say, but I would think so. But yeah, combat surprisingly fun. At the very least, thing as bosses. Dialogue in the game was great too. It was like funny and silly at the same time. And I don't know. It was like a lot of like puns and just the way the characters were talking. It was putting a smile on my face at the very least. And I've seen a lot of people say similar stuff. I can totally see if this kind of like humor and stuff is not for everyone. But for me, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun for the most part. So I hope most of you guys will enjoy that as well. Story-wise, I would say it was like some surprise factors. This one I don't want to go too much into detail with, but it was a surprise factor with one of the characters in the game, Bobby, and that I did not expect to see at all in a Mario game. And I think like the surprise factor, regardless of like exactly how it turns out, it's always like a cool experience in a sense, just because you don't really see it coming. So, I mean, I think that was cool too. Like when it comes to like surprise factors and storylines, I would say Mario games are probably far from the strongest ones in that regard. So for me, I think it was like the total like, how do you say, so it being so unexpected. I think it added some stuff to the game too. And then in general, the combat system is like a puzzle itself, right? But also across pretty much the whole game, you had a lot of small puzzles in like various rooms that you had to solve, and I honestly think it was very fun for the most part. Some of them were too easy, but some of them were like a little bit more tricky as well. So that's probably one of my favorite parts of the game, actually. And for potential future Paper Marios, I would very much like to see that expanded on even more, like a little bit more challenging, maybe even like a bit more puzzles on average. So this game had like a lot of areas and a lot of rooms that showed a lot of promise, and a lot of it delivered quite nicely as well. When it comes to the cons for the game, I would say, even though I do think the battles, especially bosses, were fun and against regular enemies was quite fun as well, I will say that it was not enough incentive to battle, which has been an issue with some prior installments of the Paper Mario series. I will say I haven't played Sticker Star and Color Splash, so I'm not going to go into detail with these games, but from what I've heard from other people, it's not really any incentive to battle in at least one of these games, if not both. And I feel like this game a little bit share that as well. When you do battle, you do get coins and you get confetti. And the coins you can use. I just feel like it's so easy to rack up coins that it almost feels pointless to battle, which is a bit sad. Like, if you do spam coins a lot in battles to get Toads to help you or extend the timer, then maybe you will find yourself needing to battle. But if you don't, like, literally spam coins all the time, I feel like you basically can dodge most battles. And confetti is so easy to find everywhere by just, like, hitting on trees and stuff, that's not even a reward you really need either. So I would like to see some bigger incentive on fighting opponents. Like across the game, for example, you can find like heart pieces that extend like how much heart or like how much health you can have. I think it would be better to like just have, you know, battles leveling you up rather than finding these pieces. I'm not really too big on like the whole, how do you say, search every little corner. I did do it a lot in this game, to be fair, but yeah, I think like it would be better to like take that down a little bit, not exploring quite as much, and then give a higher incentive to battle. I think overall that would be a good change if you ask me. I'd also say a drawback in this game is that partners was not added correctly. The old Paper Marios, like the original and Down to Your Door, like these two games in particular, people love the way partners were implemented, partly from like a story perspective. They have a certain ability to help you, you know, solve different rooms and, you know, to get to the other side and so on. This game, you basically had like temporary partners, but they were more there for a little bit of story and like occasionally helping you in battle, but you couldn't control them in battle. They were missing like half their moves, and they didn't have any special abilities to like really help you. So I feel like it was a very, you know, lazy way of trying to please the fans without actually pleasing the fans, or at least not enough. So partners, I would really love to see come back. That's honestly probably the biggest drawback for me. Like, I would like to see more incentive for battling, but if I get to pick one of the two, I would rather have like partners properly implemented again, if you ask me. And then the last con, I would say it's too much focus on coins and confetti / toads. Toads are everywhere in this game, and you can like, honestly, I'm not even kidding when I say you can probably find over 500 toads across, you know, the game, and it just feels pretty pointless for the most part. Coins way too easy to like get so much of. Like towards the end of the game, I had like 110,000 coins, and it's like, why? Like, even if you take the most amount of help from the toads, it costs like 1,000 or 999 to be exact. So it's like, and for each battle you finish, if you solve the puzzle, you basically get all of that coins back. So it's like, it was just too much focus. And then the confetti thing, it was like a lot of like holes in the wall, on the ground that you could fill up, and you sometimes it like cleared the path so you can walk by. I'm like, all right, like, I mean, not super necessary, but I guess. And then a lot of them were just like, oh, if you fill this up, you will get coins. And you fill up the next one, and it's coins, coins, coins. For me, I felt like I still want to fill it up in case something else comes out, which never happened as far as I remember. It probably did at some point, but like I felt so forced to fill up all of these things with confetti on the off chance that it would be something other than coins. So it just felt like it went way too overboard. So yeah, that would be like the drawbacks of the game. All in all, I had a good time playing this game. It had a very slow start though. So I think for people to play this game, if you don't enjoy it the first 2-3 hours, try to hang in there. Because it seems like a lot of people agree on this one, that the game is very slow at the beginning, holding your hand, and not super exciting at first, but it gets better. It gets better. So I do recommend, if you play this game, try to get past that like hurdle, the 3 hours or so, and it will get better. But yeah, all in all, I will probably rate this game at 7.5 at best. I mean, I've seen a lot of people rate this game, and it seems anywhere between 6 and 8 is like where most people tend to put it. Which is also what I would agree with. I could see as low as 6, and I could see as high as 8. I do feel like both of these numbers are kind of pushing it in, you know, one direction each. So I'm landing somewhere in the middle there, 7.5. Enjoyable experience. They did implement certain stuff good, as we talked about, but other areas they could have done much better as well. But all in all, I had a good time. I'm happy I played it, and I've seen a lot of people from like my stream and stuff that was very skeptical, but actually ended up buying the game and enjoying it quite a bit too. So if you're still on the fence, I think you should try it out. But yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you guys. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video also helped you made up your mind if you're still on the fence. So there's pros and cons that maybe can help you towards a more educated decision, whether you want to buy the game or not. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Peace.